I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now call the regular city council meeting to order. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried, 5-0. Zach, I assume you can hear everything fine?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep, I hear you just fine, thank you.
Okay. Public forum limited to agenda items only. Does anyone wish to speak to the council regarding the agenda item? There being none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. And second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
I would just like to know what we had at Marty's collision, repairing for a windshield. What was that?
It was
First
a-
page down at the bottom.
A windshield. It was a windshield replacement. Replaced windshield. A cracked windshield on a 2020 Ford police car.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried, 5-0. Number 6, street dance request. Josie?
Hi, thank you for letting me be here tonight to speak. We are here to ask for city council's blessing to move forward with our 3rd annual street dance. We are hoping to bring in a local musician. He's fairly local, he's out in Mountain Ridge. And we've kind of looked at moving our dance a little farther out towards September. And a weekend we thought that would be really fun for the community would be Old Settlers Weekend, where we would maybe post some pictures downtown in local businesses or in businesses in town of like classes that have graduated or that will be coming through. And then being able to provide an open area for people to come together and businesses to be open and just another community event for downtown. So with your blessing, we would like to move forward with the Old Settlers Day weekend.
What's the date?
It would be the 24th.
That's Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Have you checked, Josie, with Kansas Department of Transportation?
I was out there this morning and they gave me the blessing. Before I came here and asked if we could do it on Old Settlers Day, I know we closed the street for the parade, so they gave us 100% blessing and said with your permission that they were on board as well.
Okay, what about the Kiwanis Club?
I went and spoke with Casey and he said everything with Kiwanis should be done about 2:30. And after that, everybody breaks up and does their own class thing, and he thought it would be wonderful for classes to be able to communicate, or to be able to come together downtown. So we could see more people essentially and dance and have a good time, and everybody could meet in their groups of people and be spread out through Main Street.
What's your time frame?
We're flexible on that, but for right now, I was looking at 7 to 11, but with some like vendors and things like that, being able to open up sooner downtown for like dinner hours and things like that. And just some arts and crafts vendors for downtown.
How many blocks are we talking about?
We'll probably, do, that's right in the middle, so that way the Elgin and the ice cream parlor can catch a little bit of it. It's just kind of that middle block, so, that corner on Sunflower and Main Street. That was
So
a
we
nice
walk
little.
either way?
Yeah, it would be blocked either way. So, and then, last year, I kind of learned that we had a lot of elderly or people in the community that really like to be part of the event. So down at the Elgin, I would like to kind of make that to where they could park down there and have some handicap parking, so that way that part of the community could still be involved and be able to access like the ice cream and the coffee shop and stuff.
Okay. Any other questions?
Do you see any downside to doing it on Old Settlers Day weekend?
Me? No, I mean, we have a concentrated market and getting people downtown and shopping that's the idea. Let's entertain them while they're here and give them a reason to enjoy our community and what we have to offer.
And I'm just trying to think if there could be anything. I'm not saying there is, I'm just trying to think if there'd be any negative side to doing it on that same weekend as Old Settlers Day.
I
If we're
actually
affecting anybody
originally,
adversely by doing it that weekend.
I originally had it booked for the first weekend in September, and I didn't let very many people know because I wanted to get the blessing from council before we really got anybody else involved. There's a lot of people, it's like organizing a symphony, trying to get people involved with the street dance. So I wanted to start with the core this year, and I kind of put out some feelers because with our show schedule, I haven't been able to nail down a consistent date for what weekend we would like to do. Sometimes we are able to find a show, so we've been a little flexible on what weekend we are looking at doing it. So we are really just trying to find our fit in the community and see which weekend is best fitted for, growth and passing down events in the community to a younger generation. So we don't want to take away from anything for Old Settlers, we would like to add to it.
Mr. Mayor, I think my hats are off to that young lady for even trying to do all this. My blessing is let her do it.
Okay. I have a question for Roger. We didn't amend the agenda tonight, and this date's September 3rd on the agenda.
That's correct. This is the first I've heard of the shift, so I apologize to you.
Should we have to table this until the next meeting with the correct date, or?
I wonder, I don't know if it got mistranslated, but it is our 3rd annual. So I don't know if we can get.
But your original date that was communicated.
It was,
to council
yes, sorry, that would have been the
September
first
3rd.
weekend, yeah. I don't remember, was it the 3rd? Okay, yeah, sorry.
I'd be more comfortable tabling it, just try and get some feel from people in the community as to what anybody's thoughts are on doing it that weekend.
Yeah, but
Hi, Josh here, Tacos Food Truck. I would have spoke up here in the public forum, but when I read the date on there, I didn't have a concern with that. But my concern is I totally support the street dance, but I don't like the date being on Old Settlers. Us businesses on the east side of town, Willie J's, that one place, we rely heavily on traffic coming through that weekend. And if everyone's concentrated once again in the downtown area, I see us businesses on the other side of town taking a hit. My proposal would be that we keep the street dance going, but if we're really trying to drive business here in town, why not do it a different weekend when people aren't already coming to town? I mean, they're gonna be here for reunions regardless on Old Settlers. So
With that
why
being
not
said,
try
Josh,
a different weekend to drive people back to Marion again, to support the shops, support the local, food vendors, whoever.
as a traveling food vendor, you're more than welcome to join us.
I don't wanna have to travel downtown when I have a business here.
Sure. We're just trying to give as many opportunities to as many businesses as possible. And I know that it's not perfect and we can't put somebody in front of every business, but like I said, we're just trying to bring something, and we're also trying to utilize for my business and other downtown businesses that traffic also.
And if we're set on this date, could we consider moving it down to the east end? Maybe talk to Carlson, set it up down by the
If you wanna pay for
by
it,
the parking lot.
you're welcome to pay for it and move it.
I mean, I'm not against the event, everything always takes place in downtown, The rest of the town also pays taxes, helps provide funds, and draws people to the community. Me personally, as a business owner, I wouldn't wanna see it on that date, because I know that it would affect my business. Yes, it would help yours, but it would affect my business, so. I would propose that it would be at a different date than Old Settlers, when all these class reunions are coming, So,
do you have food vendors lined up?
Right now, we have not spoken to any vendors because I wanna get the core concrete foundation laid down, In past years, I have went to the vendors first and asked vendors to participate, and then came to you guys, but that's like running a symphony completely backwards. I wanted to get the core foundation put together, and then ask everybody to be involved. Once we have a solid date, then everybody in the community is more than welcome to participate and get involved. Bill and Essie's, they are across the street. She came in the other day, and she's probably the only one that really knew about it, because she was asking me about other events. And since she's in town and out of town, she's really the only one I've spoken to anybody about this. But yeah, we've had such a huge turnout. I have had people come to me and know that I am planning a street dance, but I have not given a date, I have not given anything, and just said, it's coming, just wait. And people have actually come to me and asked for Old Settlers Day. Like I said, originally it was booked for the first weekend in September. I don't want to upset anybody. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to bring something different and say, hey, I'm a younger generation and I'm here and I want to help and be a part of my town. So, like I said, we're just trying to find where we can make 99.9% everybody happy in the community, but it's not gonna work for everybody. There's always gonna be something that's gonna stand in our way, but I hope that we can hit that 100% mark and make everybody happy one day. But I know that we need to continue to do little events and focusing on a concentrated market, especially when gas is $5 a gallon right now. Getting people to travel here twice, especially in a 2-week time period, that's asking people a lot.
Actually, it'll be 3 weekends, because we have Arden Park on the 3rd weekend. So if we did the 1st weekend, and the 3rd and the 4th weekend, we have doing business in Marion for 3 weekends.
I like Josh's idea, let's give it a couple of weeks, we got the date, none of us have ever heard of Blue Settlers before now. Just get a little more input.
Would you like me to go around and get signatures from businesses with support, or what can I do for you guys to help show that folks are comfortable with this?
I think that would help, to talk to people like Josh, and
Sure.
I'm up on the hill too, and sometimes we're kind of ignored, like you
Sure.
mentioned. Not that we regret being where we're at,
Sure,
but I wouldn't mind him,
sure.
and just wait a couple of weeks and then we can take it up.
I do have a question. Would you all feel more comfortable if it was a Friday night instead of that Saturday?
I would be fine with that. I mean, the question I have is, are you gonna invite food vendors or not? If you
Yeah.
don't invite food vendors, then
Oh, yeah.
our business.
Everybody in the community is welcome to participate how they would like to participate. It is open for anybody in town to utilize this to the best interest of their business. I know that I am just a hat shop. I'm just a silly little hat shop. And to ask somebody in the community to walk into a silly little hat shop, people are intimidated by that. But when you have live music and you have things going on downtown and you give them 10 more reasons to walk in your door, I have 10 more customers that see that it's more than just a hat shop, more than just a retail place in town. It's a place that you can sit down and enjoy conversation and community, so.
I'll tell you that, they have the golf tournament on Friday,
Mhm.
and there'll be a lot of extra people that probably won't come back Saturday. That would be in town.
So, I will, do you know what time the golf tournament is getting over? I hate that, I don't wanna overlap, like I said, we're not here to step on any toes, we're just here to see if we can bring something cool to our community. I have access to so many musicians, and like I said, we're just trying to utilize a concentrated market.
Where you talking about Friday, and you
Yeah.
wouldn't do it till late anyway.
Yeah, so we would start at about 7.
Back to my question, it's not an,
You can amend the agenda at this point if you so desire. You can table it. The options are available.
And Josh, really, I do wanna work with you, and I really want us to have a great time in this
I don't know,
community.
did you answer, Mr. Mayfield's question? Are you trying to bring outside vendors from outside of town? Because if you do that, then the local businesses do lose.
Josh, you're the first one on my list. Every year, I've
I'm
never
just
not
saying,
invited you,
I didn't
Josh.
actually hear you answer his question.
No, it would only be local.
This is for our local people. This isn't for I mean, let's utilize our resources in our community. I struggle because, you know,
The
I
answer
walk-
is no.
yeah, no, this is for our community. These are for our people. This is for us.
I wanna hear what the council,
I'd like input from the vendors downtown and other business people.
I'm for it.
Well, I'm for the dance, I mean, that's, there's no doubt about that, but when is the question?
Cause you got a lot of fish coming down. Spend some money.
And like I said, I'd like to utilize like the class reunions. I think we can get pictures from the museum of the class reunions, and I think it would be really cool for the businesses that are in business, not just your downtown Main Street businesses, but let's see if Western Associates or something, or what it would cost to print a class size picture large enough for it to be in businesses. So businesses that are supporting or open that day, you know, you can kind of have a roadmap of all the class reunions, or through the weekend of places that you can kind of roadmap to open places and go look and see who all the classmates were and stuff like that. I don't know if that's a possibility, but it's something that's on my checklist of what can we bring downtown or
are you
to
willing, are
town.
you willing to do the 23rd?
The 23rd?
Yeah, which is Friday.
As long, I will double check with my musician, but, he sounded like he was fairly flexible, so, like I said, I'm here to be flexible, I wanna utilize the concentrated market as well for my business and everybody downtown.
So it's yes.
Yes, please. Yes, please. I'll take what you're willing to give me.
I move to amend the agenda, item number 6, to read street dance request for September 23rd, which is Friday. Do I have a second?
That's football, I believe it.
Hmm?
That football starts that weekend.
Football game that night too, from 7 to 10.
Okay, motion fails, I'd like a second.
We can put it on the agenda 2 weeks.
Just go around and
I
talk
know
to
that
the
we're really
business.
struggling with this, but when we take away 2 weeks, that's me contacting vendors, that's me, I gotta come up with funds to pay for insurance to support this event. I've got so much on my plate to execute this. I mean, I don't wanna put any pressure on you guys by no means, but when we're organizing an event and I also run a business on top of that, it takes some time to get all of those people in line and, to get the word out. And I don't know if you've known in the past years, I literally try to walk door to door to door. And I've even purchased in previous years. Now, it's only been me executing this, so, you know, there's been things where I've tried and I've failed and some things have worked, but something that we've tried and will do again is I've purchased, gift certificates from local businesses in town and we raffle those off or different things like that. So, you know, on top of that, we've got gift baskets and things like that to put together and organize as well.
So you need a decision tonight, basically is what you're
If we could, that would be great. If we really have to table it, that would be fine. Like I said, I'm just here to bring something to the community, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me.
I think as far as the planning, I mean, there's a lot of people in the community that would be willing to help you out. You know, that's the big concern. I'm more comfortable definitely tabling this for 2 weeks, to try and get some more input
Sure.
from people in the community. That's where I'm at on it.
Yes, sir.
I'm from Salina, so I don't have a dog in this fight. But I just have a question. It's high school reunions, I assume,
Yes, sir.
okay? What is the thought as, if there's something in the evening, are there people who would stay for that? Who are the reunions? during
I
the
would
day?
hope so. And Josh, the dance doesn't start until 7, so that's pretty much after dinner
If
hour.
the dance started at
But-
8, would it be better?
Yeah, if the dance started at 8, would that accommodate your dinner rush?
My whole deal is, there's already stuff going on in downtown regardless. Chingawasa's been,
Mr.
Old
Mayor,
Settlers has been taking place for
For
years.
respect for this council and their time, it's best that these discussions be held offline.
Right,
Let's please proceed.
right, we need to move forward. You guys need to work that out between yourselves, if that's what you need to do, or whatever. You can have
My
that
question
discussion.
was, would you have the union people stay who, if you didn't have the dance, would go home?
I actually had one gentleman tell
Well,
me,
just a minute,
Yeah.
we're getting way out of line here, okay?
Because that would
This
be a
is-
serious point.
Your Honor, all due. or-
This council
Your Honor.
just-
Your Honor, all due
Time out,
respect.
time out. I want the council to tell me what they want. You wanna table it for 2 weeks? Table it? All right, we're gonna table this for 2 weeks, we'll hear it on the 25th.
Thank you, sir.
Number 7, street replacement bond option. Beth?
Good evening, everyone. I've got a couple handouts for you for the discussion tonight. You should already have in your packet a copy of the charter ordinance we're gonna be discussing. The charter ordinance before you is, to give the city authority to issue GO bonds, not only for this street project, but other projects can be included and financed with GO bonds going forward. Essentially what the ordinance is gonna do is it will give authority for the commission to, adopt a capital improvement plan or CIP plan that's been prepared by city staff. And any projects included within that CIP would be able to be financed by GO bonds and would not be subject to the city's statutory debt limit. The main thing to keep in mind with that on projects included and potential future financing is just being mindful of the city's debt ratios. You don't wanna go crazy with financing a ton of projects this way. Because eventually, once your ratios get to a certain level, you will have underwriters or bidders not bid on your bond issues anymore. Because it just becomes more risk. Just like if you go to a bank for your mortgage, they always check your debt ratios, and they wanna see those within a certain level. It's the same way with cities and financing. So that's the main thing to keep in mind, with projects financed using the authority this charter ordinance would give you. If adopted tonight, it would need to be published twice, and then you would have a 60-day protest period. If no protest is filed, the city has the authority to be able to utilize, the authority given by that charter ordinance and can proceed with the CIP development if there's not already one, prepared and ready to be approved. Otherwise, if a protest is filed, it either just kills it or it would force it to go to an election or some other avenue for getting the authority. You would be able to, on future projects, you could set your own authority requirements for the projects included in the CIP. So you could, tack on your own notice and protest requirements for any projects you feel is necessary. You could tack on an election requirement, or you could pass and approve the projects by simple majority vote of the commission. The first handout I gave you is a timetable, so assuming the charter ordinance is passed tonight and published the 2 weeks we have highlighted, your protest period would end September 18th. The next meeting we could approve the street project at would be September 26th, again assuming no protest is filed on the charter ordinance, and you are ready to proceed with the street projects at that time. The earliest we could hold the bond sale would be that October 24th meeting, with funds being delivered at the earliest November 9th for the street projects. Any questions on any of that timing?
Beth, if I may ask, could you explain to them that without the charter ordinance, the process to issue the GO bond is?
So without the charter ordinance, you still could move forward with the street project at any time with simple, majority approval by, the commission. The only difference is that the street project would be subject to the city's statutory development.
Is it your desire to have us pass the charter ordinance tonight?
It is not. Tonight, the intent is that you all gain as much understanding as
Right.
possible on this project.
Right, okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, and Beth has been working with us for over 6 months on this. The bond market is changing, that's why she's here this evening. We're just trying to make sure you're familiar with all the legal parameters involved in issuing the bond.
Okay.
At this point, there is not a capital improvement plan defined for streets. This was the request of council to share information regarding your priorities for a potential project.
Okay.
And with a lack of that information, our engineering firm has prepared a priority list based off of an assessment that we completed.
Okay.
Okay?
What is the debt limit for the city now?
Just do not have that information without going and grabbing financials.
Any other question?
That's gonna explain finance options to give you some idea of what you're looking at in payments.
Yes, so the second handout I gave at this time is just estimated annual debt service payments, assuming a GO1 issue. So I gave you 3 different options, or actually 2 different options based off different bond sizes. So to be able to finance $1 million in street improvements, you'd be looking at an estimated issue size of roughly $1,040,000. I gave estimated payments for 10, 15, and 20-year repayment schedules. You can see right now, these are hopefully estimated high. Obviously, you won't know what the market's like a couple months from now, whenever this proceeds. But for a 10-year issue, we're estimating average interest rate of roughly 3.5%. 15-year issue, you're looking at 3 3/4, and 20-year, we're estimating 4%. You can see the estimated annual debt service based off those 3 different term lengths. So for the 10-year issue, you're looking at an estimated annual payment of $125,000, $92,000 for the 15-year, and $77,000 for the 20-year. We did the same, I provided the same options if you wanted and preferred to finance $1.5 million in street improvement costs. You can see estimated issue size for that is $1,550,000. Again, interest rates for the 3 term lengths is the same, and you can see the respective estimated debt service